take your clothes off. And I said no. And I left. And they told me they were gonna burn all my music. And they didn't stop. They didn't stop asking me, and then I just froze and I don't even remember. I understand this Me Too movement. I understand that some people feel really comfortable with this, and I do not. I do not ever want to face that person again. I felt full-on pain. Then I went numb. And then I was sick for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks after. And I realized that it was the same pain that I felt when the person who dropped me off pregnant on a corner at my parents' house. Because I was vomiting and sick. Because I'd been being abused. I was locked away in a studio for months.
Salute. Hold on. Salute. Oh, you got to unmute yourself, Ja. We got Ja in the building. Salute to Ja, man. We on here talking about, I know y'all saw this. This is Lady Gaga. Okay, let me give you a little background. Everybody know Lady Gaga ended up being the biggest thing. Very controversial for her what's the word I want to say for you two? For her very outlandish outfits that depicted certain characteristics of some far out place. Let's put it like that. So based off of that, again, I got my man Ja. Salute to Ja. Ja's been in the industry, and I know he probably heard some gems that was dropped that was pretty crazy. So I just want to say salute to Ja. And Ja, what do you think? First of all, she said a lot of things. She mentioned she said she didn't want to do it. Whatever song that was, they really wanted her to push it. She didn't want to do it. They kept asking her, told her they was going to burn her records. She still wouldn't do it. They kept harassing her to the point where she said, and I quote, "I froze." And I don't remember what happened. But pain go over from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. I started throwing up. And it was this same situation when I was hard and then dropped off pregnant at my parents' house. So I'm going to let you go ahead and go. Give me something based out of all that. Like, that's crazy.
Well, the caption says it all, satanic. So that the powers that be, that, we have to remember this. In everything that we do, and especially things called business in the entertainment industry, whether it's through sports, whether it's through comedy, whether it's through song or dance, that society, that arena, those that are in charge, those that are in charge or in control of that arena, the creators, the orchestrators, they have, two phases of reality.
Okay.
One, they're, savvy, maybe shrewd, wise, connected businessmen that happen to hold a power, authoritative control in society.
Gotcha.
Two, besides that profession, they're also men, human beings. So in that essence, you must address what type of human being are they.
So does that go back? Does it go back to what you use? And again, this is not to veer off and to stay on topic, but like you always said, you have men and then you got savages.
Right.
Okay. And the reason why I use the word savage, because with her situation, right, Lady Gaga, it's already a big name. And for her to keep going through what she's going through. Now I want to know what you might think on this. I want to ask you this question. Now, as far as the grooming process, what stage at this point Because she's past that, right? She's way beyond that at this point because she's showing she got out the industry now, or she's what they say fall back from the industry. So my question to you is, what stage of that at that plethora of your life where you are reach your what they call, like you said, in business or what perception of society is, what level, or did she even reach a level, or did she reach a level of strictly being abused at this time? If that makes sense.
Well, yeah, the abuse happens, as I was precluding to, the abuse happens when you encounter those in the industry that are in the positions of authority, but have a personal characteristic
Okay.
abuser. You understand? Because sometimes we become intoxicated with power.
That's a fact.
Power, it takes a stern discipline in order to maintain the responsibility of wielding power. So when you get power, you got the responsibility to properly wield it. You can do it wisely, properly, in a civil manner, or
Right.
you can be barbaric, evil, wicked, in a satanic and a savage manner. So many of these men, once they acquire power, they realize they got control. They interact and they abuse until the person becomes resistance or becomes to an age of resistance. And what they figured out was, hey, if I can groom them early from teenagers, when they really don't have anything, don't know anything, can't value anything, then I get in more an extended time of my activity of abuse. I call it enjoyment, but the world calls it abuse. And when you're in the power of protection, you get to run free, or open ended. And that's how it's been.
I like that. No, I like that. So, okay, and again, we're just speaking because of all the stuff going on, that the accusations or the alleged thereof, or whatever that might come out later on, like with Puffy. So, and I'm just using Cassie and I'm using Cassie. I'm using Cassie. Yeah, I'm using Cassie as an example, right? Now, Cassie, lower level, right? And allegedly all these things she went through. Gaga, it's this big name like the Beyoncés and all them. My question is, if the Cassie had to go through and endure at a lower part, that's what's blowing my mind. What, like she mentioned about being pregnant one time. Well, nobody ever knew that. So was she being groomed in, or was she being bred? As they use, like in the industry, they say a lot of times these men or these famous people go and they meet these women, which could be, or men could be workers. They end up having these babies by them, and then they take on the next generation, which no one ever knows. Is that a true statement, or have you heard about that?
Well, all of those things have happened in different factions. Like you can also impregnate someone mentally. So they can become.
Now elaborate a little bit. Elaborate real quick.
Case in point, you gave an example like Puff. Well, Puff is a victim, or I'll say protege, or let's say,
I like that.
Yeah, we'll say victim or protege of Clive Davis in their culture. See?
Okay.
And they put him on. See, when I worked for Def Jam, Puff put on. He was a promoter, concert promoter.
Okay.
But he also became an A&R, then director of A&R, then an executive in the company under Andre Harrell with John RCA Uptown Records. So Clive Davis and Arista gave Puff the first allotment of the 24 mil, and that was the birth of Bad Boy. So now remember, Clive Davis is also the one who, turned Whitney in him out.
That's right. That's right.
He got Whitney at a young age, like Puff got Cassie. See? So those variables are just bred from the same cult or circle or culture, which have been repetitive in our community ever since we allowed the business entity to enter our natural talent. And that's comedy, music, sports, all forms of entertainment, bro. You feel me? Theater, all forms. This lifestyle has always permeated it because those who are in power of control has been using us as they've been using us since day one when they brought us here. See, the
Right.
same way when Master favorite, one of the wives of one of the Philmen. You see,
Right.
Philman had to wait while his wife had to go be with Master because Master held the power. So Master knew he wasn't supposed to do it, but he would abuse and rape and maim
The
his,
field Negro.
yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's a repetitive cycle, and out of that was born, us repeating it amongst ourselves. See,
And
so
that's funny you say that because that being on the East Coast and they had those again, the breeding farms, they adopted a lot of that stuff plantation wise. So you think with the industry, what happened was the savageness. Okay, what I really want to say, because we're gonna get out of here and wrap it up, but I want to ask you this. Because if you look at the history of all this, even like you say, business wise, now I'm just gonna ask you as a businessman, do you have to have savagery in you?
no.
Okay.
The definition of a savage is one who has lost the knowledge of himself, meaning the nature of himself, and is living a beastful way of life. So if you're living the life of a beast, there is no human character, responsibility, characteristic, presentation. You're not humane. You're not compassionate for life. So you really don't care. You disregard anything and everything but for self. Business is a practice. It's a skill. It's
Right.
also a world. That's why we call it industry. See, but the industry of commerce and business, it varies. So it can be anything. It's universal. Selling my car to you is an act of business. We can do it under contract, or we can do it hand to hand. See, it's doing business as we can do business simplistically between two people with a personal honor, or we can do business from a legal process that will give us
Right.
legal precedence over our personal preference. So business is business. However, we have to remember that business comes and is conducted by humans because people do business with people. So when we're dealing with that, we have to realize that we're walking into another man's home, and we have to decide whether or not we're going to capitulate to that man's terms, rules, regulations, and customs. So Lady Gaga walked into a home that she didn't understand and know the contents and those who resided there. And once she got there, like all in the industry at a young age, you have to make a choice whether or not you're going to be human, man or woman, or you're going to resort to the behavior of a beast.
I like that, man. And on that note, y'all see it. We got Ja here. We're gonna come up. We're gonna keep on bringing y'all. Cause I want to pick Ja's brain. Y'all make sure y'all go follow him. And tell them where they can find you at, Ja.
Y'all can follow me on all platforms, predominantly on YouTube. We coming soon with the videos and all of the content and commentary from the mind of Ja. That's PHROMDAMYNDJAH in caps, from the mind of Ja.
There you go, man. There you have it, man. So y'all heard it first from Ja in the industry. Like he said, business is business, and you don't have to be savage. And a lot of these people from the Justin Biebers and all them, they get in there from what he said, either a victim or a protege. Either one, you're gonna lose on the choice. So, especially in the business. So, on that note, we want to say,
protege was a victim first.
That's right, and it was a victim
first.
That's right. So on that note, y'all make sure y'all comment in here. If y'all get a chance, comment, like, subscribe. Tell us what you think. And hey, man, we're going to go from here and we're just going to run it up. So on that note, I want to say peace, and y'all will see us again.
True indeed. Peace and grace.